The Legend of Jimmy Spoon by Kristiana Gregory, Chapter 24, Rescue. Summer was over. Every few days another small band joined Washaki's, and soon there were more than 1,000 Shoshone and at least 5,000 horses grazing on the yellowing grass. The air was cool as the tribe began traveling south, trailing for miles along a stream. Jimmy looked behind him and could not see the end of the line. Bright colors from beaded clothing and painted parfleches made Jimmy think of a rainbow snake winding its way home. Soon they reached the fast-flowing Payupa. As they crossed, Old Mother's horse foundered. Jimmy tensed in his saddle as the mare struggled to regain her footing, toppling Old Mother into the icy water. Jimmy could see nothing of Old Mother except her hands flailing as she tried to grab the saddle. "Old Mother!" Jimmy screamed as the horse swam for shore without her. He watched in horror. Old Mother was swept downstream, her soggy red shawl the only thing visible. "She's going to drown!" Jimmy spurred Pinto Bean into the current, but Pinto Bean stretched her neck above the surface, trying instead to return to shore. Jimmy kicked harder. "Faster, faster!" he cried, as if understanding the desperation in his voice. Pinto Bean stopped resisting and let the river pull them along. When they caught up to Old Mother, she was floating face down, the red shawl bunched around her neck. Jimmy leaned down, grabbed her dress, and rolled her onto her back as he slid into the river with her. He grabbed Pinto Bean's tail, and with his other arm supporting Old Mother, he began kicking. Water splashed into his mouth, choking him. Jimmy couldn't yell instructions to Pinto Bean, but he didn't need to. She was already stumbling along the rocks toward shore, where ice had formed in the shade of the willows. Washaki waded out and carried his mother to the robe. Hanabi hurriedly spread on the beach. "Old Mother," Washaki said much later, when she was able to sit up, "I thought you were going to the happy hunting grounds." "Aye, a brave boy was with me." Old Mother coughed several times. Finally, she said, "I am not afraid of anything when Dawi is near." Washaki made camp so Old Mother could get warm and recover. Hanabi pitched their large teepee in a cottonwood grove near the river, using all the hides. The fire inside warmed Old Mother, and Hanabi kept a stew simmering. At sunset, a scout galloped up, calling for Washaki. "Crow!" he cried out of breath. They had overtaken a small group of Shoshone and made off with some horses. 3 men were dead. Washaki gathered the war chief and warriors. It was cold. Stars shimmered like crystals of ice in the black sky, and wind fanned an outside fire. "Follow the thieves all the way to Crow Country, if you have to." Washaki stood, wrapped in his robe, his hair billowing behind him. "I'm going too," Jimmy said. "I want to teach those Crow a lesson." "Dawi," Washaki said calmly. "Stay here. I need your bravery to protect our family." 2 days later, before dawn, a scout reported back to Washaki. No one had been killed, it turned out, and the missing horses were found. The Crow had only chased some Shoshone to frighten them. Another scare, Jimmy lamented to himself, and a waste of energy. He wondered if people would ever stop enjoying a fight. Would there ever be peace? He searched Washaki's face for an answer. And that's the end of Chapter 24.